What is an API? What is Google versus Oracle? What is fair use of U.S. copyright laws? Why Google won? U.S. Supreme Court delivered a win for programmers. Not only Google won, but anyone who writes a code for a living also won. The core idea that won Google is fair use of U.S. copyright laws. Fair use is the right to use a copyrighted work under certain conditions without permission of the copyright owner. The doctrine helps prevent a rigid application of copyright law that would stifle the very creativity the law is designed to foster. It allows one to use and build upon prior works in a manner that does not unfairly deprive prior copyright owners of the right to control and benefit from their works. The statute provides that fair use of a work for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching is not an infringement of copyright. Let's learn details. What is an API? An API is Application Programming Interface. It allows programmers to call upon pre-written computing tasks for use in their own programs. For example, mobile apps use APIs to get data from servers. Anytime you read a web page, it is highly likely that an API call is happening to get data. What is Google versus Oracle? Oracle America Incorporated owns a copyright in Java SE, a computer platform that uses the popular Java computer programming language. In 2005, Google acquired Android and sought to build a new software platform for mobile devices. To allow the millions of programmers familiar with the Java programming language to work with its new Android platform, Google copied roughly 11,500 lines of code from the Java SE program. The copied lines are part of a tool called an Application Programming Interface. An API allows programmers to call upon pre-written computing tasks for use in their own programs. Over the course of protracted litigation, the lower courts have considered whether Java SE's owner could copyright the copied lines from the API, and if so, whether Google's copying constituted a permissible, fair use of that material, freeing Google from copyright liability. Court verdict. Google's copying of the Java SE API, which included only those lines of code that were needed to allow programmers to put their accrued talents to work in a new and transformative program, was a fair use of that material as a matter of law. What is fair use of a copyrighted work? Congress and the courts have limited the scope of copyright protection to ensure that a copyright holder's monopoly does not harm the public interest. This case implicates two of the limits in the current Copyright Act. First, the Act provides that copyright protection cannot extend to any idea, procedure, process, system, method of operation, concept, principle, or discovery. Second, the Act provides that a copyright holder may not prevent another person from making a fair use of a copyrighted work. The doctrine of fair use is flexible and takes account of changes in technology. Computer programs differ to some extent from many other copyrightable works because computer programs always serve a functional purpose. Because of these differences, fair use has an important role to play for computer programs by providing a context-based check that keeps the copyright monopoly afforded to computer programs within its lawful bounds. Why Google won? Justice Stephen Breyer, who wrote the majority opinion in the case, agreed that Google's use of the code was protected under fair use, noting that Google took only what was needed to allow users to put their accrued talents to work in a new and transformative program. To the extent that Google used parts of the Sun Java API to create a new platform that could be readily used by programmers, its use was consistent with that creative progress that is the basic constitutional objective of copyright itself, Breyer added. Hashtags API, Google versus Oracle, U.S. copyright laws. What is an API? What is Google versus Oracle? What is fair use of U.S. copyright laws? Why Google won?